Hey everyone, Mitch coming in for the Commander's Core Studio. Welcome to the show. So, hi, how's your day going? Well, good. Well, I hope this makes it just a little bit better because we've got some exciting news today to talk about. And yeah, let's just jump into it. So, a little while back, there was the If Looks Could Kill secret lair. Both the foil and non-foil versions were available. I believe this was back in October. There were 4 cards. We had Adaptive Automaton, a Lilium in the Dark Realms, Azami, and then Reflector Mage. And yeah, I mean, many people out there are very excited about this one, and others, like myself, are like, yeah, oh, cool, no secret lair, whatever. I'll look at the cards, just to see the really cool art and whatnot, and the art looks great. I mean, yeah, let's take a quick look at the art on one of them with Reflector Mage. Looks really sweet. Awesome. Fantastic. That being said, there was one tiny thing about the previous image that you might have noticed that was slightly off, and it wasn't the art for Reflector Mage. But we can see in this kind of more close-up image of, the cards themselves, all of them look, like they pretty much should, except one of them in the back left. Yeah, there's just something slightly off with that one. And if we take a look at actual Reflector Mage and then the Secret Lair version, we can see what that difference is. Because as you can see, well, a certain treatment was applied to the one on the right that was not applied to the one on the left. And, well, okay, I mean, obviously, yes, this is a full border version. The text is different. Text is white versus black, different image. Yes, all those things. And it has, dress to impress at the bottom, as a new flavor text. But the main difference between these two that really sticks out is that top with that legendary border treatment, because that treatment is reserved only for legendary creatures. And yes, we might see that this might be some kind of a mistake. Maybe, right? And you'd think if Wizards had noticed that, like many players out there did at the time, they would have corrected it, but it was not corrected because they just showed, the digital versions off, but it's actually shown up in print too, and we'll talk about that here in a second. But yeah, when asked about this on Twitter back in October, well before these shipped and whatnot, Jack Hughes said, because it's a self-portrait and I am legendary. So that's awesome. Yeah, because Jack Hughes made a self-portrait of himself with this new Reflector Mage, which is awesome. And then, there was a response. Is that actually the reason though? LOL, no, it's a mistake and they're fixing it now. So apparently it was a mistake. They were going to be fixing it, but they didn't. Wizards did not fix it because, as we can see, as someone posted on Twitter, if Looks Could Kill secret lair arrived, and if we can see on the far right, there is Reflector Mage in all of its glory, still with that legendary border. So, I don't know about you, but I think, well, it's pretty fitting. It's a great looking card with that new border. And yeah, I mean, at this point, it's a much more expensive version than the other ones. I mean, the other ones are around, 30, 40 cents. This one's $10 for a reason compared to those. And maybe it's because this one actually is legendary. Because, yeah, I mean, if Wizards, obviously, was made aware of the issue, was told the artist that they were going to be fixing it, and then they chose not to, I mean, they probably then must have determined, right, that Reflector Mage actually should be legendary. Because this is not just Reflector Mage, but it is Jack Hughes' Reflector Mage. Legendary creature, human wizard. Big thank you to MTG.design for existing so I can edit cards like this. Anyways, so yeah, I, for one, am on board with this because, well, we already have, 425 commanders this year, so what's one more? What is one more commander at this point, right? Just a drop in the bucket. So, in my opinion, now we've got Jack Hughes Reflector Mage. So, all of you out there with those secret layers, with the legendary border Reflector Mage, congratulations, you've got yourself a brand new commander because, I mean, it's hard to deny that is a legendary border on the top. And yeah, Wizards has accidentally left off, certain text like legendary creature and maybe even Jack Hughes' name as well. So yeah, we have Jack Hughes Reflector Mage, a 2/3 human wizard for 1 white-blue. When it enters the battlefield, return target creature and opponent controls to its owner's hand. That creature's controller, that creature's owner can't cast spells with the same name as that creature until your next turn. Basically, hey, bounce a creature, no more casting that creature until I say so. Well, not until I say so, but yeah, take some time off, okay? So, yeah, brand new legendary commander. Okay, now I'll stop kind of the bit at this point. I probably took it a little too far, but mostly in jest. But also, I mean, yeah, your play group can obviously determine if they're okay with you playing with your Jack Hughes Reflector Mage as a commander again, because, yeah, it does have that legendary border. You know, just rule 0 with your friends, ask them if they're okay with you having a Reflector Mage commander, and if they are, well, this is the perfect guide for you on what cards you want to consider for your Jack Hughes Reflector Mage deck. I'm going to break things down into budget buys with cards less than $1, so yeah, cards that even fit within my budgets, and then pricier picks as well, cards that are over $1, and some much more over $1. Regardless, yeah, if you're building around this as your commander, there's some exciting things that you can do with it. Well, at least for you. Because, yeah, again, ask your play group first. They might not be okay with it. And maybe not just because of the WotC potentially oopsie that they did, but also because, yeah, you can kind of shut down people's commanders with this pretty easily because you can just keep bouncing them. Anyways, budget-wise, let's go to them first. Cloud Shift, Ephemerate, and Displace. Yeah, blink spells, very good with Jack Hughes. Again, Cloud Shift, exile target creature you control returns the battlefield under your control. Perfect. Just, blink your commander, blink your Reflector Mage, goes away, comes back. You can use this as a defensive spell to protect it, and also as an offensive spell to say, okay, again, hey, your commander's out, up, let's bounce it back to your hand. You can't cast it until my next turn. So yeah, good luck with that. Ephemerate, this one is a repeatable blink effect, at least, 2 times essentially, I should say. Exile it, bring it back. It's got rebound, so you get to cast it again at the beginning of your next upkeep. Perfect. Displace, this one's going to let you exile 2 creatures, blink 2 creatures, bring them back. So yeah, again, if you've got not only Jack Hughes Reflector Mage, but also another creature that's got a great ETB, make use of that as well. So yeah, you can be pretty defensive with this kind of a commander. Of course, there are also repeatable blink spells. Yes, even on a budget like Soul Herder, a great repeatable blink effect. Beginning of your end step, play another target creature you control, return to the battlefield. Yeah, it's going to be really difficult if your opponents can't deal with this or Jack Hughes Reflector Mage to actually keep their commander in play. Because, yeah, you can kind of just manage and mitigate all your opponent's commanders and kind of stall them on that part. If their deck really revolves around that commander or, yeah, certain other creatures, just deny them of those creatures again and again and again and really, really slow them down. Brago King Eternal deals counter to a player, exile any number of target non-land opponents you control, return them back to the battlefield. Basically, hey, blink whatever you want to blink, get all of those ETBs, get all that lovely value and all that lovely denial with your Jack Hughes Reflector Mage. Next up, speaking of denial, some other creatures that can really help out. Meddling Mage, Voidstone Gargoyle. Meddling Mage says, when it comes to play name a non-land card, name card can't be played. So this one just straight up says, oh, okay, you got your commander in play? Cool. Okay, I'll Reflector Mage, bounce back to your hand. I've got some time to wait until you can cast it again. Cool, maybe next turn then. Meddling Mage, your commander's name. Your commander's not coming back out until this gets dealt with. So good luck with that. And even when you do deal with this, then I'm just going to, blink my Reflector Mage again. Voidstone Gargoyle, flying as it enters the battlefield, which is a non-land card name. The name card can't be played. And activated abilities of permanents with that name can't be played. Activated abilities of cards with that name aren't in play, can't be played. Basically, just shut down a card entirely for everyone. So, sure, if you want to shut down Counterspell, great. But if you also just want to shut down a commander, that works too. Nevermore. Basically, Meddling Mage on an enchantment, enters the battlefield, name a non-land card. Name card can't be cast. So, this one again is more permanent, probably the Meddling Mage, because it's harder to deal with as an enchantment versus a creature. And also, yeah, you can't really just blink this. I guess, okay, Brago can blink it, but there aren't as many things that are blinking this with a commander like this. We're going to have more of those Cloud Shift type effects that are blinking creatures. Next up, Academic Probation, a lesson that can teach your opponents a lesson. You choose one, choose a non-land card name. Opponents can't cast spells with the chosen name until your next turn, or choose target non-land permanent until your next turn. It can't attack or block activated. Those can't be activated. Basically, shut something down. Or again, just basically, hey, okay, I bounced your commander back. Cool, it came back to my turn. You know what? Let's just take another turn off, okay? I'm just going to name your commander again. You can't do it again. Phyrexian Revoker shuts down, in a somewhat similar way to Voidstone. Enters the battlefield, name an online card. Activate abilities of source to the chosen name can't be activated. If an opponent's commander is all about activating a certain ability, too bad. You cannot do that. Rule of law, another kind of too bad kind of card. Each player can't cast more than one spell each turn. This does affect you as well, so keep that in mind. It's not for, every build around this. But yeah, if you are utilizing a lot of bounce effects, including your commanders, you are going to be slowing your opponent down to a crawl. Because, yeah, oh, you got that out? Bounce it back to your hand. Okay, I mean, you have to wait a full turn to actually try to cast your commander, and then it comes back around, then you have to decide if you want to cast your commander again, and if so, maybe I'll just bounce it again. Good luck. So, yeah, there are definitely some pretty brutal things that you can do with this. And again, I will remind you, please, 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 if you are planning on playing with your Jack Hughes Reflector Mage commander, ask your playgroup first. Thank you. Now, with that said, let's move on to the pricier picks again, cards that are above my budget of less than $1. So, yeah, here we go. Arcane Laboratory, basically another Rule of Law, but in blue. Player can't cast more than one spell each turn. Basically the exact same thing, but just in blue. Dismiss in a Dream, another great enchantment. Each creature opponents control is an illusionist to other types, and when this creature becomes the target of a spell or ability, sacrifice it. So this one just says, hey, you know how I was just bouncing, probably your commander back to your hand? About that. Now your commander's sacrificed, so it's going to be going back to your command zone, and you still can't cast it in your next turn. At least rules lawyers out there, please let me know if that still works. I mean, you'd at least just take it out every single time with that trigger or with the target, but yeah, I believe they still wouldn't be able to actually cast it because you're still naming it. So, or you're still, bouncing it in that name. You know what I mean. Anyways, I hope that works. And if not, still, I mean, you can still utilize targets to actually take creatures out too. So that card to consider. Next up, though, other cards to consider. Yeah, with a slightly higher budget, there are definitely a lot more repeatable link effects that are really good. Conjurer's Closet, a fantastic one that every now and then with reprints creeps down to near my budget, but then just goes away out of my budget. Yes, a repeatable blink effect at the end of your turn. That's basically the exact same thing. Dead Navigator, pay 1 in a blue when it's soul bond, and exile this creature, then return it to the battlefield under your control. So yeah, essentially, hey, my Jack Hughes Reflector Mage. Okay, cool, it's in play. Awesome, I'll pay 2. I'll blink that creature, I will blink Jack Hughes, and I will bounce that creature, and you can't recast it. Same thing with another one, and another one, and another one. Yeah, just basically 2 mana, shut your opponent's creatures down. What's not to love? I mean, for you. Speaking of what's not to love, Panharmonicon. Doubling up on ETBs, yeah, with a deck built around this, with all these blink effects, with all these ETBs, all this value, great ones to have. And yeah, Reflector Mage doubling up on that ETB, that is huge. Huge. I just said huge. Artifact or creature into the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger. The ability triggers additional time. Yeah, just double up on your ETBs. Yeah, I said Hughes again because Jack Hughes. Anyways. Yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know what your thoughts are on this. Again, Wizards was supposed to fix this. Said they were going to fix it. Didn't fix it, so there must be a reason behind that, right? There must be a reason. It must actually be legendary, right? That must be the reason. So, I'm all for it. Again, it's a drop in the bucket at this point. We got 425 commanders this year. What's one more? 426. Congratulations, Jack Hughes Reflector Mage. You are now a commander in my book. But if you are planning on building around this, again, ask your playgroup first because, yeah, they might not be okay with that. They might be like, no, that's ridiculous. Wizards just made a border issue. What are you doing? No. And you're like, well, Mitch said on the TV. And they're like, no, okay, well, it's fine. but yeah, make sure you ask first, okay? And also because, you can do some pretty brutal things with a commander like this. But yeah, let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are on this. And of course, as always, thanks again and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. We also have a ton of brand new t-shirt designs in stock, so make sure you check out those as well. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG Player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all their support.